This is a true crime story that I actually started talking about on TikTok. And the reason why it caught my attention was because my son had posed with this suspect in a cold case. And I had found the picture on Facebook and I said, oh wow, that would be kind of a cool story to tell. But I did further research yesterday and got the rest of the story. I have the paper from yesterday because it was a lot to take in, and I'm in the middle of doing my taxes. So the story started in New Orleans, Christmas of 2012. We were in the middle of moving from Louisiana to Hawaii. My husband was in the military. So we decided to spend the holidays in New Orleans, our favorite place. My husband is from south of there. And that was what we were going to do for our kids to have Christmas. And there was a street performer. He was so sweet. He was so nice. He does a mime impression. He's been there for years. And so my son got up and mimicked his miming, and we tipped him, chatted, and moved on. So I'm reading the paper one day and I see a story about a cold case that had possibly been cracked in New Orleans, and it had the picture of this man. Now, he's known as Uncle Louie, but his name is Johnny Miller. Wait a minute, I remember that post. On 22 May 1974 in Jacksonville, Florida. At that time, Johnny Miller was 17 years old. And I'm just gonna give you the skinny. A man named Freddie Farah, married father of four, was working in a convenience store to support his family. There was one witness who was about 13 or 14 years old at the time, so we know that it was a traditional style holdup. He gets some items of food, which has to do later on in the story, puts them on the counter, pulls out a gun, says this is a holdup. Freddie instinctively just swiped his hand out to knock the gun away. Well, he ended up getting shot in the head and dying. And then Mr. Miller left the store. And after that, he left Florida. 1974, okay? We ran into him in 2012. I didn't hear about a break in this story until about 2017. And of course, if you follow true crime, you know all you had back then was your fingerprints and things like that, and those cases go cold. Cold case detectives come in and they try, and they are rock stars because they try to get resolutions and justice for these families. They did connect Johnny to the fingerprints on the food items because he had done some other petty crime. This all blew up in May of 2017. That 13, 14-year-old witness died the December prior. 5 months before they made this connection. She passed away unexpectedly. It kind of crumbles your case, right, as a prosecutor. They did arrest Uncle Louie, as he is known in New Orleans, and they did take him back to Florida. He did agree to plea to, I believe it was, second-degree manslaughter. He did serve 344 days in jail in Florida. As a part of that agreement, he also met with the family and agreed to answer any questions that they had about what happened. So this is where the story gets kind of wild to me. And even in the article, it's like the outcome of this is kind of weird. But if you know New Orleans, you know people are accepting of everybody. The family atmosphere there, and to the locals, Johnny was family. So he was able to put up like a GoFundMe type thing. He got $6,000, and this disturbed the Farah family. I'm gonna say that's what is in this piece here. And the son spoke for the family. Quote from his son Robert is that he killed my dad and admitted it. There was never a doubt in my mind. He was our man. And they did support the deal because they wanted responsibility to be claimed for the death of this man. Growing up without their father, he missed his daughter being valedictorian of her class. He missed the three daughters, being able to walk three daughters down the aisle to their marriages. He missed his grandkids, you know what I mean? Mr. Miller, on the other hand, was greeted with open arms back to New Orleans back to what he does, which is being a mime on the street. And his quote is, "It was a tough situation, and there's close to a year missing now." So he missed out on a year of his life for something that he did, for a life that he took, that ended in 1974. But it was an inconvenience for him to miss a year of his life dealing with this, owning up to it, and being honest with the family. I don't know his story. I don't know, what kind of a person he is. The man that we met was nice. He was kind. I mean, I don't just put my children next to strangers. The vibe I got from him was, okay, he's a guy with some talent, and he's trying to make an honest living here, and he's doing it, right? But the rest of this article, the other 3 pages, are about all the people who approached Mr. Miller during even being interviewed to hug him and say they loved him and they missed him and they were glad he was back. But there was nothing about, maybe I need to just stick to the facts because I could go on forever about this. But this case was interesting to me. And interesting enough to make the AP news because it was such a cold case. They had 5 months that they missed out on possibly having, more firm charges instead of the second-degree manslaughter, but that one lone witness had passed away. I know that was probably extremely frustrating for the cold case team and the family. But I'm pretty sure they're all happy that at least that part of it is resolved. And I'm not downing New Orleans at all. That is one of my happy places. I only have a few happy places. New Orleans is one of them. I cannot wait to go back and visit. I can't wait to go back and see a Saints game. You will be treated beautifully in New Orleans. Even if you're there for football and you're from the opposing team and you're wearing the jersey in the street, nobody's going to try to fight you. They're going to say, come on in, have some drinks, whatever. That's just the kind of city it is. That's just the kind of vibe that it gives. I don't know if Mr. Miller is still doing his thing on the street. I know he was back in 2018. If you've seen him, please let me know. Please comment below. You see the picture. He wears the white outfit. He has the stuffed dog on the leash. He has the Star Spangled Banner motif around his top hat. For those who are interested in what I had started talking about on TikTok, which was just meant to be a, hey, this is kind of like a bizarre little story that happened, and then further investigation, I find out, okay, yes, he actually did kill a guy, served 344 days, and that's it, and then was welcomed back to the city with very open arms. That's the rest of the story. If you're in New Orleans, you may see this man. I have a lot of crazy stories like that. If you follow me over from TikTok for the rest of the story, thank you for coming. And if you're new here, thank you. And consider following my channel, subscribing, and hitting notifications so that you'll know when I post my next video.